That's why I kind of leaned you over to this side anyway, because you were saying you wasn't smoking before. I'm like, so let me start you somewhere.
Yeah.
Let me start you somewhere more.
Nah.
Oh, you know what?
He the reason I got made fun of.
I'm the one who set him up.
He did. He knew what they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't know they was gonna get on. I didn't know they was gonna get on you like that.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I didn't want to sell you a giant cigar. You weren't gonna really smoke it.
Okay.
I didn't want to sell you something more harsh. You've been over there choking your life away, and then they've been laughing at you more.
Start from the bottom, gotta get up and go get it. Set it up, level up, sky's the limit. People need you, gotta go now. Making moves, we on the road now. Look at everything we've been through, where we came to. It's amazing. Look how we made it. 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 People need you, gotta go now. Making moves, we on the road now. Look at everything we've been through, where we came to. It's amazing. Look how we made it.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Meet the Maker 216. You already know who I am. I'm Wibbs. I'm your host, the one you love the most. You know what I'm saying? But listen, today we got my guy on here. One of the only people I know that's taller than me. You know what I'm saying? It's my guy, my boy Cliff.
My guy.
What's up, man?
Welcome to my spot, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me,
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So as a general icebreaker, what I do on every show, you know what I'm saying, is I try to get the audience to know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
You know, so if you can, for the people who don't know out there, who is Cliff?
Who is Cliff? Before we get started, let me just let y'all know. So, your host here is not a cigar connoisseur. So this cigar right here is the one that he decided to purchase.
For display purposes.
I don't know if you guys understand, but this is like a very, very, very novice beginner cigar. So before we got started, we had about a 25-30 minute roasting session on this man because he went and got this cigar, which eventually transitioned into a more masculine cigar. So that's kind of where we are.
Man, anyway, go ahead, man. Goddamn.
But to answer your question, man, Cliff is an entrepreneur, and Cliff is a guy that would give you his shirt off his back if it'll help you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me, man. You know, whatever it is that I could do to help, man, I'll do it, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Where you grew up at?
I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut.
Okay.
So from Stamford, I left Stanford. I went to Maryland. Went to school in Maryland.
Yeah.
Morgan State University, HBCU.
Okay.
From there, transitioned to being an undrafted free agent for Cleveland. 2 years here, 2 years with the Giants, 1 year in Arizona, 1 year in Canada.
Oh, football.
All football. Yeah.
Now, I knew that. I had to act like I did.
Yeah, that's all.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real? Football? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, so you say you played for the Browns, you played for who else?
Browns, Giants, and Cardinals, and 1 year in Canada.
What team was your favorite one?
What team was my favorite one? So Cleveland fans are, man.
Talk about it.
Cleveland fans is wild, man. Cleveland fans don't care whether you up, down, left, right. Like, y'all are amazing fans here, man. I think New York is a little bit different because, you know, New York is the mecca of everything, right?
Yeah.
New York and California. And they just, you know, in New York, you're not an A-lister. You're like a CD lister. Even big name players in New York are still CD.
Yeah.
Like in Cleveland, you could be the 58th man on the roster and you're an A-lister here.
Yeah.
You know, so I love the fan base in Cleveland. And Cleveland was amazing, man. New York was cool, and I appreciated playing for New York because it was so close to home.
Yeah.
So you talking about a 45-minute drive, I'm at the crib having dinner with mom.
Right.
So I appreciated being closer, but as far as the team and the camaraderie and the fans and all that, I would say Cleveland was dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
For sure.
What's one of your fondest memories of playing? Like what's one of your dang man, like this is, I'll never forget this.
So what a lot of people don't know, man, is that athletes are comedians, man. Like, we joke each other, we joke the world, we whatever, you know, bad plays, bad outfits. Yeah. Like, you're gonna take an L when you walk into the locker room.
You probably took a lot of L's, didn't you?
So I will tell you a quick story, man. So during training camp, a lot of dudes go through the same thing. We typically don't shave, don't cut our hair, whatever. Yeah. So later on in my career, I started to develop alopecia. Right. So this is why I keep a bald head. Right? Okay. So I remember, man, one of my old teammates, man, Rex Hadnot. I just think he had enough of looking at it, man. So my hair grows in. I don't know my hair growing now, but when my hair grow in, it grows in kind of like in patches. It's kind of patchy. Yeah. Man, he started talking about my hair. Like, it was to the point where it was funny. Then I got angry. Then I got silent. It was so bad. It was so bad, man. He would
probably had that salty face on the whole time, too.
And then you know, you try to fire back. Yeah. But the fact that he had everybody laughing, it was like, it didn't matter what I said that was funny or not. Yeah. It wouldn't matter. Yeah. Because he was coming at me so hard. Pause.
Yeah. No diddy.
And man. So so that's one of my fondest memories, man. The camaraderie that you have in a locker room with dudes with the same purpose, same goals, same principles. You know, just trying to make money to feed their family. Ultimately, that's what playing ball is, man. You make money to be able to feed your family, be able to take care of yourself, and build generational wealth or build temporary wealth, whatever it is. That's it, and I love of the game. Yeah, man. So,
what's some of your hobbies, man?
So I'm a reader. Okay. I'm a reader. I'm a lifelong learner. Yeah. I've determined, like, there was 1 year, man. It's crazy. I sat and I tallied it up, and I read like 64 books 1 year. 64 books, man. It was everything from self-help book, spiritual wholeness books, financial budgeting, literacy, a couple stuff from like T.D. Jakes books. Okay. I read Will Smith's autobiography.
How you like that?
It was cool. Yeah. It was cool, man.
Yeah, my wife read that one too.
Yeah.
I started reading it too. Like that. The one part that was crazy to me is when he was talking about that it was a drug or something that he took, and it took him like his mind. You know what I'm talking about?
So I would say that there's a lot of people, man. There's a lot of stories of athletes, artists especially, that they do drugs and they feel like it takes them to a different plane, man, where they start thinking on a higher level, or they become more creative. Yeah. Now that I'm in school to become a paramedic and stuff like that, so I understand, like, you know, the endorphins get released and, you know, you start kind of feeling you know, tranquil and stuff like that, which can probably trigger some, you know, some real deep thoughts. Correct.
Cyanosis, I was just playing around. Hypoxic, you know what I'm saying?
Hypoxia.
Yeah, hypoxia. Right.
Hypoxia as in
hypoxia
as in not being able to get air.
Right, air.
That's what that means.
Cyanosis where you blue. You know what I'm saying?
Cyanosis when you blue and you can't. You're not perfusing anymore. That means you're dying.
You're not perfusing.
That means you're dying.
Right. I understand that. Yeah. All right, so anyway, so kids, man. You have any kids, bro? Let's talk about the family, man.
I have two children. 2 children, 2 daughters. I have a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old. Okay. 13-year-old, that was my, you know, you don't really know what love truly is until you have children. Yeah. But what you don't know what real love is until you have a daughter. Yeah. When you have a daughter, man, it changes your whole thought processes. And it changes your whole concept of what you want to do with yourself. Yeah. Not only what you want to do with yourself, but what you're willing to do with other people and how you interact with women. Yeah. You know, because ultimately I look at my interaction with women the way that I would want somebody to interact with my own daughter. Right. So I try to move a certain way, talk a certain way. Yeah. Ain't no bunch of B's and no H's and all that stuff as far as my dialect. Well, I ain't never been that way, no way. Yeah. But when I had my daughters, it was even more. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro. I can definitely relate.
How many children you got? 7, 12?
No. First of all, don't try to blame me now. You know what I'm saying? You know, and no shout out to anybody who does have 7 or 12 kids.
That's a lot of kids, bro.
I think my cameraman, I think he got about, what, 6?
You got 6 kids?
I mean, you got 6 kids?
You got 4?
Yeah.
2 on the way?
But no, man, I got 5. You know what I mean? 3 girls. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I relate to you at.
Your math ain't mathing. You got 5 kids, 3 girls?
No, I'm saying we're talking about daughters.
Oh, God, yeah, fact.
Keep up, bro.
Yeah,
Keep up,
you're right. That's my fault.
Yeah, that's another L. You know what I'm saying? But no, man. No. That's how we joke around a lot.
Yeah,
we both firefighters. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, I'm just a better one. All right, so look, how was your NFL? We already talked about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we here, right?
Yep.
Smoke signals.
Yep.
I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. This is where we at. We have smoke signals. Okay.
Yep.
So we're gonna start talking about these cigars, man.
Sure.
Let's talk about the first time you had a cigar in your hand.
The first time I had a cigar in my hand, man. So shout out to Smoke Signals, myself, a buddy named Rich, and my buddy Jermaine and Sheila, who is the guru of cigars. You know, we kind of run this facility here, man. So I can't move forward without giving them their just due.
Regard, yeah.
My first time, I got a bunch of stories, bro. My first time holding a cigar, I was in New York playing for the Giants.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was a bye week or it was just me doing my normal 1-2. But I used to always just drive down to Atlantic City.
Okay.
Atlantic City from where we were and East Rutherford was maybe about an hour drive. So going to Atlantic City was like going downtown. You know what I'm saying? So the first time I had a cigar, I was driving on the freeway, man. I didn't know that you wasn't supposed to inhale cigars at the time. So I'm driving around the freeway, doing my little 1-2.
Okay.
And man, I inhaled the cigar and that smoke filled my lungs and I started tearing up and coughing. I just saw my life flash in front of my eyes, man, because I'm going down the freeway 70 miles an hour, choking, coughing, and can't breathe. That was my first interaction with cigars. From then I understand, cigars are not to be ingested, but to be tasted, right? So you taste them smoky, you taste them the different notes in the cigar rather than you're actually ingesting it like, a Black and Mild or something, or a cigarette or something like that. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah. That was one of my things, because I'm not really no big cigar connoisseur. Based on your story that you had earlier about the Big Bottom Betty right there.
Oh yeah.
Nah, but
that Baby Bottom Betty.
Baby Bottom, Big Bottom, whatever it is, you know what I mean? But nah, that was I'm like, man, what's the point of smoking cigars for real?
Right.
I guess it is just a taste.
Yeah,
you know
so a cigar much like any other drug, because tobacco is a drug, right?
Yeah.
Much like any other drugs, it releases endorphins. Like we talked about it before.
Yeah.
You smoke a cigar, and your feet start feeling light. Your feet start feeling heavy or light or whatever the case may be. So that's your feet get numb.
Yours do?
It does. So that's just the endorphins being released from your brain, bro.
Yeah, I'm listening, man. Your feet get numb,
Or do. You get a little light.
Hey, my fault, bro. My fault, man. I had a couple drinks before the show, man. So, you know what I mean? I'm feeling a little good. So, hey, man, your feet get numb. That's crazy. That's usually what I say when I start getting buzzed, bro. I'm like, oh, man, my feet getting numb. You know what I'm saying?
Just right here. If you're looking to feel hydrated, refueled, replenished during and post workouts, I recommend using the Prozis BCAAs. All right? If you don't know what BCAAs are, they're 6 to 8 in supplement form of the 13 essential branched chain amino acids that our body uses. It's real simple. So what I do is take 4 bottles of water. I'll make sure they're really, really cold. Spring water is my preference. I take a scoop of BCAAs from Prozis, put it in, shake it up real, real good, and I drink it during my workout. Okay, now listen, this is super, super, super important. It helps ease muscle soreness post-workout, helps prevent muscle tissue breakdown, and it's great for hydration. So if you haven't used BCAs before, I recommend grabbing you some Prozis. Grab you this great shaker bottle. I love it. I take it with me all the time. Not shaker bottle, but water bottle. Take it with me all the time. Give it a try.
But it gives you, you know what I'm saying? It gives you a little bit of a buzz overall. So
yeah, you do. All right. So to start with the idea of having the business mindset, right?
Yep.
Now, I kind of want to let me put that in there. We're about to transition over to the business side.
Sure.
So, in your definition, what makes a person successful?
I think you got to be strategic.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be strategic, as in you got to be able to say no. Okay. Every idea is not a good idea. It might sound good. Yeah. But when you start analyzing what's best for you, that's when you start analyzing whether you're going to be able to move forward. So, perfect example. I went into a very, very deep dive into a trucking company. So I was going to open up a trucking company. I wanted to have 18-wheelers over the road, and I also wanted to have regional stuff, and I also wanted to have dump trucks. So I went the whole deep dive, man. I got a mentor. I went shopping. I looked at numbers. I crunched all the numbers. Yeah. What prevented me from doing it was I like things that are residual and passive. Okay. That would cause the residual component, but it wouldn't be passive. Yeah. So, layman's terms. Okay. Passive basically means I don't have to do anything for it to occur. Okay. Residual meaning it's going to happen regardless of what I do, right? Right. Or I'm sorry, it's reoccurring. Yeah. It's going to keep happening. So when I started realizing, like, yo, I'm gonna have to be on call. Yeah. If a truck break down, if a driver gets sick, blah 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 blah, this, that, and the third, he could be all the way in New Mexico somewhere, and a truck break down. Not only am I responsible for the truck, but I'm also responsible for the driver, and I'm responsible for the load. Because them people like, yo, we want our stuff. Yeah. We done already basically paid you or are in the midst of paying you for our stuff, and now our stuff is late or it's not coming. Yeah. So when I started to kind of realize that breakdown, I was like, nah, I can't do it. That's too much engagement, too much involvement. There's no guarantee that I will be running a truck for long enough for it to make enough money for me to be like, all right, cool. I could take an L today and fly out to New Mexico and drive this truck for the rest of the way. And then on top of that, if I were to say like, yo, the truck broke down and wherever, there's one or two things that got to happen. The truck with the driver, I got to put the driver up for the time that it takes for the truck to get fixed, or I got to fly that driver back out of my own pocket. So now I'm losing money. Yeah. Then I'll be either flying myself out to go get that truck and finish that load, or whatever the case may be. I didn't want to do all that. It was just too much.
In other words, you're just saying that does sound like a lot.
There's a lot.
That does sound like a lot.
There's a lot.
That does make sense when you say it.
And we talking worst case scenario. Yeah. Best case scenario, you have 4 or 5 trucks on the road. They all making money. Everybody happy. Everybody eats. But
that's best case.
That's best case. But it's inevitable, bro. It's inevitable. You're gonna catch an L somewhere. Yeah. You know? So that's kind of where I was. Okay. But as far as answering your question, you got to know when to say no. Yeah. And you got to be strategic, and you have to truly identify what are the things that's gonna help you. Right. And who you are, and what you're willing to do, and what you're willing to not do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So one question that and y'all see me keep looking over here because my tablets over here. Through my questions. You know what I'm saying? I personally think I ask good questions. I gotta stop the show real quick to get myself props on the. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? All right. Let me get back. All right. No, real quick. So one question I ask all my guests is. The business owners, is talk about the pressure of owning and starting a business.
The pressure of owning and starting a business is relevant to the business itself, and is relevant to the people that you have working with you and for you. It can be very stressful, if you make it that way. Right. It's going to be stressful. There's going to be a level of stress. But there also doesn't necessarily need to be stressful where it's now impacting your health, your life, and everything else. If it becomes that, then you probably need to get out of that business or reconfigure that business to allow you to be a little less stressful.
Right.
The objective is to be in business for yourself is to create autonomy and create flexibility and then create income and whatever else that you want to create out of it. If the income is not matching the work that you got to put in and the stress that it's taking you and your family, I personally won't do it. I'll be out.
But you would imagine though, well, depending on, like you said, what business it is, that's going to be taking a lot of time out of your way anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times could be.
It depends.
Right.
So, for example, like I own a bunch of property too, right?
Okay.
So I literally only go to the properties either to go pick up rent or to meet like a new tenant, and that's it.
Yeah.
If there's an issue at the property, I typically reach out to somebody, one of my handyman contractors, blah, blah, blah. Go over to this property. This is what needs to be done. Go over there, do whatever you need to do, fix it, and then send me the invoice. And 9 times out of 10, I don't see it get it fixed.
Yeah.
I don't hear about it getting fixed unless it's from the tenant.
Yeah.
And I just pay the invoice and just keep pushing.
Yeah.
But what I will do, and I'll give people the tip, is don't get Jimmy, Bobby, Harry from the corner or the block to fix it, because you're gonna end up paying double.
Because you got to redo it.
You got to redo it
right.
after you're done. And then a lot of licensed and bonded contractors won't work behind somebody else's work.
Yeah.
So now they ripping it out from scratch and they're rebuilding it. So now you're paying triple what you would have paid had you got the right people the first time.
Yeah.
Now small projects, drywall, blah blah blah. You can basically get anybody to do that stuff. But like major stuff, plumbing, electrical, stuff like that, get people that know what they're doing. Yeah. Been doing it, licensed and bonded. If your house burned down, you can sue them, shit like that. And so
I agree, bro. I agree, man. So cigars, as far as you, let's get with how many people? Is it that four people? So you and 4 other people?
Three. So it's 4 of us.
4 of you all together.
Okay.
So you and 3 other people got together and said, "Hey, let's start the cigar business."
Hell no,
how
how it work.
How did it work then? How did it go?
So Rich is the mastermind, man. Okay. So Rich ended up purchasing the building. So Rich owns the building. His best friend, longtime best friend since I think elementary school. They've been knowing each other since elementary school. Rich ended up bringing Jermaine in. Okay. And Jermaine is my business partner with real estate. So Jermaine's like, "Yo, do you want to, think about getting us a cigar shop?" Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Yeah, sure.
Right.
What's this? Let me look at some of the numbers." Okay. And essentially, we just thought it was a good idea to run it. And then Sheila. Yeah. Sheila is the general manager and co-owner, and Sheila is the guru. Sheila knows the most about the cigars. Yeah. Between the 4 of us, Sheila knows about the cigars more about cigars than people that come here and smoke cigars in the right mixes.
For real?
Yeah, Sheila's the GOAT when it comes to that. She's the president of GCG, the Good Time Gang.
So it's really like another life, like with cigars.
Oh,
for real. Like it's like a
cigar life.
Yeah.
Cigar life is like sneaker life. You know what I'm saying? Our people spend all their checks, all their time. They got rooms dedicated. They got dehumidifiers in rooms and stuff. Like, people really dedicate a lot of time in the cigar life. Man. Yeah. And it's like golfing. Yeah. When you go. I mean, I have a golf. I'm actually gonna take some golf lessons this spring, but
where at? Because I plan on
So it's I'll get you the information. I got it on my thing at the house. But essentially, I'm gonna get golf lessons so I can learn how to play golf to basically kind of use that as my pastime. You know what I'm saying? Okay. As we get older, like I'm not playing football no more. That's a wrap. I'm not playing flag football. I'm not reliving my heyday.
Bro, you ain't playing turkey ball, bro? What?
I'm not doing none of that, bro. I am like
Drake. What's wrong with it, bro? What's wrong with it, man?
I'm gonna tell you this, yo. If I step off the sidewalk too hard, it feel like my back, my neck, my shoulder, everything fall off.
Hey, so when you say my neck,
dude,
my neck and my back.
There's no way. There's no way for me to say to myself, "Yo, I'm about to do that." As for fun. I already go in burning buildings. I already lifting up patients. I'm already doing all that extra stuff. There's no way I'm doing any physical contact sport for fun at almost 40 years old. It's not gonna happen.
I got you. I got you.
I don't even want to hoop.
Nah, I feel you.
No hooping, no nothing.
People ask me all the time if I hoop. I don't hoop no more, man.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just injury, bro. The risk of injury, then you're gonna be working nothing for the family. You
Dude, one good. So one of my homeboys, right? He was not even in the game. He was playing ball by himself. No, I'm saying he was playing with his son. His son was like 3 at the time.
Yeah.
Dude went up for a layup. Came down, literally ripped his quad. Quad went all the way up his hip. I'm like, bro, when you get to a certain age, like, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
Why would I do that to myself? Why would I put myself in that situation?
I feel you.
Now you down for 9-10 months.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. So I'm out.
All right. So we talked about the cigar thing. Let's hop on the real estate side now. So like, what made you get into that right there?
I didn't want to be poor.
I understand that, but people work at McDonald's not to be poor. But what made you choose that?
No, people work at McDonald's because it's a means to an end.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? People work at McDonald's because they need a job, and people work at McDonald's because it could be a starting point for their development, whatever. Or it could be an end point, regardless.
Now listen, I ain't, no
That's
shots.
No
shots don't
no,
like
no,
that. I'm just saying, like,
no shots at McDonald's. McDonald's employees.
Yeah.
My desire to do real estate was, I was curious about something different. I've always heard real estate is a way to build generational wealth or build wealth or to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
I've always heard, like, you could use the equity to do this and do that. And I had to basically immerse myself in understanding what all that stuff means. Yeah. And then once I was able to kind of get it so that it processed to me and how to make it work, I realized, man, the possibilities are endless, man. Like, you can truly be like a millionaire, multi-millionaire through real estate. Yeah. Like, for real. And not like, and I don't mean like you gotta be a millionaire to start. I mean, my first property I bought was $12,400. Literally on 145th and St. Clair, right there in the hood, duplex. Yeah. I've owned that property since 2011. Yeah. I did a little bit of math, maybe like a year or so ago. From the rents that I've collected over the course of 12, 13 years, I've made almost $60,000 on that property. Just owning it and collecting rent for years. And that's the concept of, owning real estate, right? When a tenant moves out, I still own the property. When a new tenant moves in, I still own the property. So I'm gonna get that passive residual income regardless of what I do. Yeah. On the 1st, the 5th, or the 15th. Yeah. One of them days I'm pulling up and they're gonna have to hand me that check, or I'm gonna have to put you out.
How many properties you got now?
At the moment I got 10, including a 6-unit apartment building. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta show me the game about that. Like, that's one thing. It's a few of my homies really that's been talking about getting into it. You know what I mean? So, we definitely gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man. It's a sweet dichotomy, but it's also it can be difficult because you're taking so many steps back to take steps forward. Yeah. You gotta pay the down payment, and you gotta buy this, you gotta rehab it, and blah 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 blah. So you gotta put all this money in, and then know that, okay, cool, let me move aside. I own this property now. It's mine. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm gonna make my money back and then some, as long as I can keep that property. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you bought a property, this is Cleveland. So whoever watching this is Cleveland prices. This ain't New York or Philly or Florida.
I mean, time out. They know that because it's me to make a 216. 216 is Cleveland. All right, go ahead now.
So is 440.
It is.
Oh my god. So.
Hey, bro. You got to. Oh yeah. I played you, bro. Go ahead, though.
So Cleveland. You could buy a duplex here for roughly $40,000-$50,000, right? So let's say you took out a loan on that. you know, just some rough numbers, and you put $10,000 down.
Okay.
Now you own a property that got a duplex.
Okay.
Your downstairs unit pays the mortgage and the water bill. The upstairs unit basically puts the money in your pocket. Essentially, that's how it works. So the game is not only creating volume, which means having a lot of those properties that do the exact same thing, but also do it in a space where you're not breaking your own pocket. So if you're a fireman and you're making, you know, round number, let's say you're making $100,000 a year. You don't want to just blow $100,000. You got food and life to live. You know what I'm saying? You want to say, look, 10 grand, put it down, buy this property. 6 months later, do it again. 8 months later, do it again. Next thing you know, you 10 years in and you got 35 properties. There's one dude. There's one dude I know, man. He's a retired fireman. He works part-time now. He was retired from the major.
I think I met him. Didn't I meet him before?
Yeah. At the one spot, at the Section 8 spot. So he owns 42 properties. 42 properties, man. I mean, if you do a little bit of rough math, 42 properties. If you do $500 times 42 properties, let's say it's 42 doors, 42 individual doors. You talking about this 5 times 4 is 20.
20. That's about 20 bands.
About roughly 20,000, a little bit more than 20,000. You know what I'm saying? So, 20,000, 100 years, something like that. So you're doing $20,000 a month.
20 bands a month.
A month. So, I mean, he ended up being a fireman. He didn't come from money. He wasn't rich. He accumulated that over, I think, like 30 years span. Now you're 50, 60 years old. You're making 20 bands a month. Like, who can't live off of $20,000 a month? Right. And you 50, 60 years old.
There's plenty of people that can't live off 20 bands a month, bro.
Who can?
The people who are not good with money.
True. Shout out my boy, my brother, my frat brother, Maurice Purnell. He was the treasurer of the Word Church out here, and he wrote a book called Financial Foundations. That was literally the first finance book that I read. Super easy read, super easy, and it really teaches you how to like structure your money. How to structure your savings, how to structure this. So when I first started reading that book, man, I had just stopped playing ball. I was lost in the world. I was about to file for bankruptcy, like the whole nine. I had 2 cars repossessed, like the whole long story after the post-play ball situation. But I ended up reading that book, man, and I checked. It's crazy because I checked my credit score this morning, and I'll show it to you. My credit score right now is 828.
828.
Cleveland, are you a creative looking for a platform to advertise your business, idea, or brand? Meet the Maker 216 can help you with just that. Hit us up and together we can showcase your brand to the world. Looking forward to working with you.
Nice. 828, man. And I started, I was like maybe a 5'10". 5'10". You know what I'm saying? So I'm at 828 now. You know, max is 850. So so that's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah, man.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Where it work?
That's what's up.
Where it work, man. Everybody wants to get a quick, get rich quick. Let me call the credit repair company. Let me do this. Let me do that. You know, this girl saying she could do my. Bro, you could do all that shit yourself. Real talk. Real talk. You just gotta be disciplined. Just be disciplined with it.
Pay them people back.
Yeah, pay them people back.
Pay them people back.
That's it. Pay them people back.
That's all it is. That's all it is, man. Pay them people back. So let's talk about the idea and about the effort and mindset that it takes to turn an idea into a reality. You know what I mean? And that could be taken in many different areas of life, for real. Like, you know.
An idea taken into action.
Turning it into a reality. Like,
for me, it's research. I gotta know, I gotta see, I gotta understand. I'm a Virgo, man, so, you know,
you said you're a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
So it gotta make sense, man. I gotta be able to break it down to like its lowest molecule for me to be able to move forward with it.
Oh, that's one of those characteristics of a Virgo?
That is one of the characteristics, man. Super analytical, super, we're really hard on ourselves, very analytical, very like, I'm not gonna move until it makes sense.
Okay.
So if I don't have all the components, like I was telling you about the trucking company,
Yeah.
I had this binder. It's a 3-inch binder, the big one, and it's full. It's thick like this. It sits up like this, of just stuff that I found. Research, money, different trucks, whatever. Everything. Like literally, if I handed you that book, and I just said, "Yo, here's the book. You can go step by step and start the trucking company without no thought, because I have so much information in it." That's how I move. If I can't do that, and then all of that information makes sense, then I can't move forward with it. I just can't do it.
I mean, that makes sense, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of like the stock market.
Yeah.
In the sense of, you know, when you're investing in a company, if you don't know the ins and outs of that company, when that stock goes down, then boom, you'll get scared, and you'll sell. But if you know that company and you know what they have to offer, how much of the reaction factor that company had when it started, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then boom, you would know that company about to bounce back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if you don't know information, like that makes sense, my
guy. The best way to keep someone in the position that they're in is to put the information in a book. A lot of people don't like reading. A lot of people don't like sitting down and try to analyze some stuff and read.
Yeah.
There was something that I read some years ago. Yeah. Because I was doing research on, because I wanted to get into stock trading and all that stuff too. Yeah. Because I really didn't understand it. Still kind of don't for real.
Yeah.
So I just let people who know what they're doing do it.
Yeah.
But there was an article that I was reading about Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
And Warren Buffett used to study, or probably still does, the market from like the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. Because if you understand the market then, you can basically predict what the market is going to do moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the second component to that is he would read about 6 hours a day on the market and the market changes and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Before he makes a decision on whatever it is he's going to purchase.
Right.
The typical American, they're going to see something on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and they're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
No thought behind it. So he put in 6 hours a day reading. 6 times 7 is what?
32. 42.
So 42, you put in 40, I'm putting 42 hours worth of studies and research to make a decision versus your 4 minutes. Who's going to have a better outcome? He definitely is. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I put, the mindset of I wasn't like following his method.
Right.
That's just how I move, just in general. You know what I'm saying? If it don't make sense, I ain't gonna do it.
I feel you.
That's one of the hardest parts about paramedic school, man, because there's so many components. As far as like cardiology and stuff like that, there's so many components that can occur because this happened and that happened, and they're hypokalemic, and they're hypoglycemia, and they got a PVC versus a PJC, and they got heart palpitations, and it's a whole, but it's not one thing that triggers it. It could be a number of things. You could be dehydrated and you didn't take your insulin, or you have a kidney failure, or you have an aortic dissection. It's so many different things that could be happening to you, and you don't know, and we basically got to figure it out. Shout out to all the first responders, man. Shout out to all the paramedics. Shout out to the police. Shout out to the firefighter. All the people that, call 911. Them is the people that show up. Because the people in the hospital, not trying to be funny, they got it easy. Because when the people come, you got all this equipment and you got 50 people that know what they're doing. It's way different when you're in the field and you got one paramedic and you got 3 EMTs who have no idea what's going on.
Or everybody could just be EMTs.
Or everybody EMTs and everybody completely lost. I mean, you got a lieutenant and a captain. They both EMTs, and you got 4 firemen. They all EMTs, and they have no idea what to do. Going through this paramedic stuff, I really understand the value of what paramedics do and what they do to save people's lives before them people get to the hospital. Like stabilizing someone who just went into VFib to get to the hospital is it's a task. There's a lot of things that go into that. So shout out to them.
For real. Working on the patient is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Working on the patient is crazy. So in the field, right? You know, we're not talking about the fire field no more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we talking about in the field of either real estate or whichever one you're talking about. You want to talk about both. All right. It's the start of a business day. Can you give a quick overview of what you do professionally and the reasons you did it?
Okay, so
What?
I am a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I am a fireman. I am currently in paramedic school.
Mm-hmm.
I am a landlord. I own several properties. I'm also in the military, Army. I'm an Army reservist for the U.S. military. So why did I do all of those things? I'll start with the Army, and this is kind of, it's a personal story, but it's not personal, right? So I went to the military because I was depressed. I was contemplating suicide. I had started to plan out what my suicide was going to look like. I had just stopped playing ball. And
So this is post NFL.
yeah, this is post playing ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got real low, man, and I didn't really understand who I was, where I was, and what, where my life was going to be. So I was, really, really depressed, man. And I planned it out, and I talked to my cousin, and he was just talking about how he was in the Navy and how he AWOL'd, and me and it was three of us online, me and my two cousins, so we just started joking him about him AWOL and blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up saying to myself, man, maybe I should just go to the military. So I ended up going. And mind you, I had a decent job. Like I was an administrator of an elementary school. I had a decent job. I was making decent money.
Yeah.
But the depression of now I'm no longer playing ball. Because with playing ball, what people don't necessarily realize is not the money. It's everything that comes along with it. It's the respect, it's the admiration, it's the affiliation, the camaraderie, the game that you love and the game that you have a passion for. It's gone. Like you've been playing this game since you was peewee, and now that's it. The window closed. It's over. Like it's over. So that's where the depression set in, man. So I said to myself, now I'm gonna go to the military, basically reset my life. So that was the reason for the military.
Yeah.
The reason for real estate we already talked about. The reason to become an entrepreneur is it's multifaceted, but I'll give you like 2 or 3 reasons. One, the more money you make, the more Uncle Sam gonna take from you.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find ways to put your money in somewhere. And I don't mean money laundering like something illegal, but I mean like putting your money somewhere so that it can generate and make more money. You can write stuff off. The more businesses and more stuff you have, the more you can take L's on your taxes. Like, I had to buy a new refrigerator unit for, the cigar shop. Or we had to buy a new AC unit or a new or a new filter. We can write all that stuff off. When you're making all this money, and the hardest thing about being in the league is you make a lot of money, but you don't have a lot of write-offs. So, Uncle Sam taxed you in the beginning, but he's going to then tax you again when you got to pay your taxes at the end because you done made $150 million and you got nothing to write off. So he's going to tax you at $150 million and you're going to make $75 million. But then he's going to say, okay, you have no write-offs neither? Yeah, let me get another $2-3 million of that. Because you didn't write nothing off. So you got to find, that's why a lot of those dudes, they start investing in stuff and businesses fail, whatever, they start investing in stuff because you can't keep it. If you keep it, they're going to want some of it. Yeah. This kind of is what it is.
I don't think a lot of people know that part of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You make all that money, man. They're going to tax you in the beginning. You're going to get federal tax, whatever. But you keeping all that money in your bank account? Absolutely. Yeah. Uncle Sam going to want some of that. On the back end, too. Yeah. Because now you're the 1% of the population. You know what I'm saying? There aren't a lot of jobs where you are making league minimum. The league minimum in the NFL now, I think it's like close to 800 bands. Yeah. What job you make $800,000 a year? Yeah. for 4 months.
Yeah.
Well, John, you know what I'm saying? September, October, November, December, that's it. You paying those 4 months. You might go to the playoffs. If you go to the playoffs, and then if you go to the playoffs, you're not getting paid your normal contract no more. You're getting paid the pool of what the playoff and Super Bowl and all that stuff is, which is much lower than what your contract would be. But even still, like, it's still more than what the average person will make, right? So with that being said, like, what are you gonna do with all that money? What are you gonna do with all that cash? Yeah. So you got to put it somewhere. So that's what the real estate. That's why the smoke signals. And that's why the properties, man. You sell a property. Like I sold a property last year. Was it last year or the year before? Last year. I sold a property last year. I bought the property for $33,000. I owned the property for 3 years. I had a tenant in there, beautiful tenant, super awesome guy. He had a family in there. And he told me, man, he said, eventually I want to buy this property from you. I said, cool, man, no problem. Let me know whenever. So 3 years later, he comes up and he says, man, I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
So we ended up going through the whole process or whatever. And I remember I bought the property for $33,000. I owned it for 3 years with him paying the mortgage and his rent, paid the mortgage, the water, and the sewer bill, and put about like $400 in my pocket, right? Yeah. I ended up selling that property for $110,000. I bought it for $33,000.
Yeah.
And I sold it for $110,000. Right. So that mortgage get paid off, the mortgage get paid off, and then I get the remaining balance, which was I think was like 70-something K. Okay. So I immediately went and bought more property. Yeah. Because I know if I don't do that, Uncle Sam gonna want that bread from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Sam gonna want, what's that? $15,000, $20,000 off of that. Yeah. Why give it to him? Just go spend it somewhere else. Right. That's not illegal. I didn't create the rule. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
Damn, bro. Smoke signals. Yep. Do you guys plan on expanding?
We've thought about it, man. Okay. We definitely thought about it. The cigar life is dope. The patronage and the love that Smoke Signals gets on a regular basis is dope too. Yeah. The hardest part is some of the rules that's being put on cigar spots, and as inflation continues to grow, so does the price of material, so does the price of heating and cooling, employees and everything else. That's the difficulty. That's where the difficulty comes in. It's like, do you want to expand? Sure, but then now, like, there's other cigar spots that do like an uncorking fee. Uncorking fee, which means you come in and you bring your own bottle. We're gonna charge you $5 because you brought your own bottle. Yeah, and there's a yeah, bro. There's another fee that has I forget what it's called, but essentially you pay like $5 for membership for the year. Yeah, because they don't want you to come into the cigar spot and basically sit and smoke a cigar and take up a chair for somebody else who's a member. So you pay a membership and you pay an uncorking fee. So you pay a membership for the year and then you pay an uncorking fee every time you come in there. We don't have that. Yeah. We don't have that at Smoke Signals. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in that, right? Yeah. But at the same time, how do you keep up with the inflation if you're not charging the patrons to come into your... Yeah. Dang. Yeah. That's it. You know, so like I was saying earlier, you know, what we're trying to implement, and you know, y'all can steal this idea, you know, whatever. So our thought process was, you know, to create a plan to say, look, we're gonna, if you come in and you buy X amount of number of cigars, we'll give you a bottle of bourbon or give you a bottle of whiskey. The thing about it, you know, in Ohio, not a lot of cigar spots have liquor licenses. Yeah. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. Okay. That's why the uncorking fee, blah, blah, blah. So what we would do is basically gift you a bottle. You done bought $150 worth of cigars. Yeah. Essentially, you bought the bottle. So here's the bottle.
That's dope.
And then there's no uncorking fee. Whatever is your bottle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift, essentially. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you know you got something working towards.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like, we have like different, like a variety. But you know, hey, don't get people.
No, go ahead.
Your secret. You know what I'm saying? What you got to do?
I mean, it's just a thought. It's just thought. If I were to do it and we were implementing, what it'll probably end up being is, maybe 4 or 5 different type of bourbons.
Yeah.
4 or 5 different type of whiskeys. Just stuff that really goes well with cigars.
Yeah.
And then do stuff that's kind of the higher end whiskeys and bourbons, because there's like, I forget what those things called, man. I know some of the guys on the department. It's like I forgot what it's called, man. But it's a bourbon that has like a little horse on the top, and then you drinking them, and then you're supposed to collect the horses because each of the horse got a different name, and you're supposed to spell the name out of the actual bourbon. It's actually pretty cool stuff.
That's dope. Yeah.
But those will be kind of like the higher end because they're harder to attain.
Okay.
So instead of you buying 4 cigars, you might have to buy 8 to get that bottle.
Yeah.
But you could get a bottle of Crown Royal or something like that for maybe 3 cigars. Of course, whatever the model is, and however it makes sense.
I got you.
So that's how we do it. I mean, that's my thought behind how to kind of make it work and to bring in more people and to get, because sometimes we'll get people walking from the street, and it's like, yo, y'all sell bottles, y'all sell da-da-da-da, and we don't, because we're not supposed to. But if you came in and you bought 6 cigars, you can throw them out for all we care.
Yeah.
You bought 6 cigars, and you get a bottle, and you just be on your way.
Yeah. That's good. So what do you say for people that come in and smoke signals, right? Or even period, like cigar lounges in general?
Yep.
Like what do you think appropriate cigar attire is?
Cigar attire?
Yeah.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? Like
I've seen people come in here in full suits.
Yeah.
Full suit, full 3-piece, 4-piece suits. Yeah. This Ohio, man. This is Ohio and this is Cleveland. This is the land of the players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen dudes in here with furs on. But I've also seen people come in with sweatpants and flip-flops.
Mm-hmm.
The cigar culture is not one of those cultures where you have to attempt to fit in. You literally just come how you are.
That's true.
Yeah, you come in. If you want to come in with hooping shorts and a t-shirt, and that's on you.
Good.
Yeah.
So what do you, as far as getting the cigar smell off your clothes?
Oh, wash and dry.
Just wash and dry. I'm talking like as soon as you leave here, let's say you about to go somewhere. And
if you're leaving to go to another location after being in the cigar lounge, you might want to change clothes. And take a shower. Yeah, you might want to change clothes, take a shower. But the cigar smell is pretty strong and it's pretty pungent.
Yeah. Cool. So at the end of the day, before we start taking this tour, you know what I'm saying? What do you have as far as people locating this, like a number,
here?
Information for
So Smoke Signals is right here on Euclid. It's 524 East 200.
Yeah.
As far as the real estate is concerned, I'm actually on a sabbatical at the moment, but
whoa! I don't think we ever actually said what your real estate was called. Like, what's your company called?
Oh, so I work for Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan.
Okay.
My Instagram is at Keller Williams Agent Cliff on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow me, I put up information on real estate, on the market, and stuff like that. And, people DM me and they ask me questions about whatever.
Yeah.
As far as real estate is concerned, and I'm not one of the people that like to charge people for every little thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, for me to appear, it's gonna be X amount of money.
Yeah.
My thing is, the information is free.
Yeah.
People typically don't want to do the research themselves, so they ask somebody who they trust.
Yeah.
I look at it like, yo, you ask me because you trust me or you believe that I know the answer. Mm-hmm. So who am I to withhold the answer from you?
Right.
So just give it away.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So good. Well, shit, we better go ahead and take this good old tour.
All right.
Show y'all what Smoke Signals looking like.
All right.
Alright, so like I promised y'all, we better get a tour of Smoke Signals. I'm right here with my guy Justin.
Yeah, what's happening, Pete?
Yeah, so of course, man. So I was out there smoking that cigar, with Cliff, man. But I didn't really know what to look for as far as what's the quality of the cigar? Like, what do I look for when I'm smoking a cigar?
All right. Well, really, it's like your own little personal journey.
Yeah.
Like if you starting out new, even though they was giving you that business about the sweet cigar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a. Everybody generally start off somewhere, and they generally start off on the sweeter side of stuff.
Right.
And then you kind of build your palate from there. Like, eventually you won't, like, that sweet taste will get a little, like, annoying to you. You want to kind of graduate to something else.
Okay.
There's,
like, what would you suggest?
Like, there's several type of leaves. Like, if you were going to, like, graduate up from, like, something sweet, the next thing you probably go for is a lighter leaf.
Yeah.
It's not as harsh. It doesn't beat you down as much.
Yeah.
Like, so the smoke you take in, it'll be like, it won't be like,
Yeah.
Like, so there's light leaves, and then it gets darker to the Maduros. And the thing about the dark leaf is, even though it generally doesn't have as smooth or good as a taste as some of the lighter ones, they get you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Is that one of the reasons people smoke cigars in?
You can definitely get a mild buzz off of them. And the darker, generally speaking, the darker the leaf, the higher that buzz content comes in.
Okay. Which one of your favorite ones? Oh, this one.
I like this underrated.
Okay.
Let's see. We had some new ones come in. I'm liking these two.
Okay.
These are the old Mac. Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you been smoking cigars?
Ooh. Maybe since about 2018.
2018? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and you think all the time like, oh, the pricier one is better. It's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
You got some expensive cigars that actually are pretty good, and you got some you go, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And and some of that is just selling on their like name brandness, like Cohibas, My Father's, these Camachos. But really, it's hard. It's hard not knowing like what your actual palate is at that point. It's you can try to describe it to somebody, but like, especially if they haven't really been smoking before. That's why I kind of leaned you over to this side anyway, because you were saying you wasn't smoking before. I'm like, so let me start you somewhere.
Yeah.
Let me start you somewhere more.
Nah.
Oh, you know what?
He the reason I got made fun of.
I'm the one who set him up.
He did. He knew what they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't know they was gonna get on. I didn't know they was gonna get on you like that.
Yeah.
But the thing was, I didn't want to sell you a giant cigar you weren't gonna really smoke it.
Okay.
I didn't want to sell you something more harsh, and you've been over there choking your life away, and then they've been laughing at you more.
I get it. I appreciate you, though, man, for looking out. Is there a handle you got, man? Like some they could follow you on, like Instagram or something like that?
Oh, yeah. I do got an IG. I'm an older man. I don't really be paying attention to that shit. What the hell is
it? You ain't got to. You ain't got to, man.
I don't remember what the hell it was.
Hey, never mind. Hey, oh boy, that's all y'all need to know. Come down here to Smoke Signal if y'all want to meet him. You know what I'm saying? Listen, before we close out, I want to thank you. I want to thank Cliff for having us out here. Meet the Maker 216. You already know, man. It's gonna be the greatest show ever. And hey, listen, real quick. I got the apparel now too. I got the Meet the Maker right here. You turn around, you can see it on the back too. It's gonna go for sale. You could be the lucky guy or lucky gal that gets it, and I'm shooting my picture in front of him, you know what I'm saying? Because I know he's going to end up getting one, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. We can do that.
Yeah. Hey, until next time, I see y'all. Peace. You really ain't got to get one for real, bro. I was just playing around.